What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Iron Digital. And before we get started, I want to ask you guys if you can just subscribe to the channel, like this video, take a look at some of the other content that we got on the channel. We're trying to build this crypto community. We're trying to get more people onboarded into the space properly. We're also trying to get people more news about what's going on into the crypto space so that they can understand what they're investing in and the other people, the other partners and corporations and businesses that are also getting inside of the space. Just to give you a little bit more conviction in your investments. Not financial advice. Disclaimer. Gotta put the disclaimer out because I'm not trying to have nobody come after me. But anyway, let's get into the news. Nearly 25% of all Ethereum locked in smart contracts. Ethereum continues to get fundamentally stronger in terms of becoming a decentralized financial layer, and almost a quarter of the supply is now locked in smart contracts. Industry observer and ETH Hub founder Anthony Sassano has noted that the amount of ETH locked in smart contracts is similar to that during the DAO event in mid-2016. The amount of ETH in smart contracts is now similar. Okay, yeah, I've already read that. He added that at the time it was worth $230 million when ETH was priced at around $13. Today, that amount is worth a whopping $63 billion. Okay, you skip down. The chart depicts the spike during the year when Ethereum poured into the DAO, the first decentralized autonomous organization, launched on the Ethereum blockchain after raising $150 million through a token sale. The DAO was hacked due to vulnerabilities in its code base, and the Ethereum blockchain was hard forked to restore the stolen funds, resulting in the network splitting into Ethereum and Ethereum Classic. As the article said, that's how ETH Classic came to be. ETH Classic was the original Ethereum, just so that you guys know. Sassano also noted that there was more than 1 million ETH in the Binance Smart Chain Bridge contract. A lot of the ETH locked up in the Beacon Chain Deposit contract, according to the ETH 2.0 Launchpad. There are currently 5.42 million ETH staked on the blockchain. At current prices, this is estimated to be worth around $13.5 billion. I covered this actually in the other video. It also represents 4.65% of the entire supply and around a quarter of all ETH locked across all decentralized finance smart contracts. Okay, yeah. Whatever with the rest of this article. Obviously this is good news. 25% of it is locked into smart contracts, which is good. This is what we want. You want it to be locked up in smart contracts because at least that means it's being used, right? There's actual use case. There's a lot of blockchains, and I'm actually invested in some of these blockchains. Cardano and just, what is the other ones? You got Solana and Binance Smart Chain. A lot of them, right? But Cardano, for instance, I think Cardano has about like 60 or 70% of all locked up for staking. I believe so. But one thing that people have to realize is that Cardano hasn't implemented smart contracts yet. So we are still waiting to see whether it can actually do what it's trying to do. I'm a big fan of Cardano. I have, a nice amount of Cardano. So I'm not bashing Cardano, but I'm just saying, 60, 70% of it is locked up for staking. But this is 25% being locked into smart contracts. That's different because these smart contracts are being used right now. With staking, you can't do anything else but stake. Staking essentially is no activity for the most part, unless you have something like smart contracts already implemented, so that you can actually verify the transactions that's happening because of the smart contracts, which is where the staking comes into play. Where you actually validate the transactions that's going on the network. So, again, 25% of all Ethereum being locked in smart contracts, very, very good. This is why I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum still. When you can see that Ethereum can hold a complete economy on top of it, banking and lending, and also having the just a whole bunch of things, the NFTs, everything. Ethereum is definitely still far ahead of everyone else. It is still the most decentralized from all the other chains. You know what I mean? So that's something that you definitely can't overlook. So yeah, positive news for ETH. Continue. $150 billion asset manager jumps into crypto markets in partnership with NASDAQ. Okay, that's good. Victory Capital is entering the crypto market by partnering with America's Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and crypto-focused asset manager Hashdex. In a statement, the investment manager firm, let me start it over. The investment management firm with $157.1 billion in assets under management reveals that it will be the exclusive sponsor of private placement funds and other investment instruments based on the NASDAQ crypto index. NASDAQ and Hashdex developed the NCI in response to the growing institutional interest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. The rules-based index. Okay, that sounds kind of weird to me. Yeah, the rules-based index serves as a measure of the performance of the digital assets market and is designed to be readily trackable by investors. Victory Capital notes that it plans to launch a private fund that will track the NCI. It will also offer private funds that track the NASDAQ Bitcoin Reference Price Index and the NASDAQ Ethereum Price Index. Okay, so, once again, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but this is the reason why I'm just so bullish on crypto in general. News like this doesn't go mainstream. You're not going to see this in the mainstream news, the mainstream media. This stuff is kind of hidden, but this right here is the reasons why you should be bullish on crypto as a whole. $150 billion asset manager jumps into crypto. You know what I mean? That's a huge deal. You're seeing the stuff happen right before your very own eyes. If you happen to tailor the news that you look at to this type of information, which I do. I don't really watch much mainstream media, and when I do, I try to watch it for whenever they have anything to say about crypto in general. But this is the stuff that you have to look at, because this is the fundamentals that you look at. This is the reason why you want to you look at this stuff to further your conviction. And I say that over and over again because you honestly need to. When you see what's going on into the market right now, it's easy to be like, man, is crypto still going to make it? These prices drop 50%, whatever the case is. That's just market noise and manipulation. It's stuff like this that's going to make crypto stay, in addition to some other things, right? So this is obviously a very, very good news. Let's continue. You can tokenize a building in State Street's new digital push. $40 trillion global asset administrator sets up digital unit. Results from intensity of client requests, says Shakar. State Street Corp, one of the world's largest money managers, is moving hundreds of its staff into a new digital unit to meet surging interest in everything from cryptocurrencies to transforming investments as traditional as real estate. This technology is revolutionary and it will change the world, said Nadine Shakar. The newly appointed head of State Street Digital, in an interview Friday, blockchain has been a solution looking for a problem for years now. But what you're starting to see is it's getting real. There's real use cases, she said. The group, which starts off with 400 to 450 staff, is gearing up a series of products and services, including cryptocurrency trading software and support for tokenized assets, Shakar said. Tokenization refers to establishing a digital share of ownership that can be more easily traded and opens up an asset potentially to a wider universe of investors. Okay, let's just stop it there. This news like this is like extremely powerful. This is one of the reasons why I love cryptocurrencies, because it makes our current infrastructure, it makes it more efficient, right? So it's not only revolutionary, but it's also evolutionary. It's evolving our current infrastructure and making it better. So being able to tokenize assets is extremely powerful. And the lady Nadine Shakar, even she says that. It's extremely powerful because you can tokenize the building, have 10, 20 people own part of that building on the blockchain, so there's transparency. Every time somebody decides to rent it out every single month like that, you get paid. There's no delay. There's no you don't have to worry about there being any corruption or, okay, well, this person got more money than me. Well, that may be the case if they have more ownership, or they have more coins in this particular building, with it being tokenized. But there's complete transparency and it moves extremely fast. It's very efficient. Can you do that right now outside of crypto? Sure, you can do it. You can get an LLC, S corp, all kind of stuff like that. You can get the 10, 20 people. All of you guys go up under that LLC or S corp or whatever, and you can buy the building that way. But it takes longer. It's more of a time lag, and there is levels of transparency to it. But again, it's not the level of transparency of it being tokenized and on the blockchain, and it surely is not as efficient. And that's something that you guys have to look at when it comes to tech in general. What is going to make our current infrastructure faster, more efficient? Because it's not necessarily about trying to change things drastically, but if I could change buying a house, right? Because even if you buy a house, I'm not like 100% certain, but if you buy a house, even if you buy it for cash, I believe there's still going to be like a few day process. Like you still have to wait for it to process for a couple of days, whatever the case is, to my understanding. Whereas if that real estate is on the blockchain, you'll get to a point where in the future, within 5 to 10 minutes, bam, you'll be able to buy the house outright on the blockchain. Is a done deal in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes. That kind of efficiency is what's gonna, continue to make the future get better and better, because people don't want to be waiting a week, 2 weeks to get closed on properties and all kind of stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense. You can do the same thing with vehicles. You can go ahead and tokenize a vehicle and have 10, 20 people own part of that vehicle. That vehicle can be doing Uber or Lyft or whatever the case is, and you can be getting proceeds from that. Distributed equally or distributed in proportion to how much you've invested into it, and you can get that extremely fast. So tokenizing assets is extremely powerful. Again, this should further your conviction as to why you should be involved in crypto. And the last piece of news we got here is the Tanzania considers crypto and boost Bitcoin as nations line up behind El Salvador to embrace decentralized finance. So again, big news. Then the next one. Tanzania became the latest country to signal its support for digital assets this weekend as its president instructed financial authorities to prepare for widespread use of cryptocurrencies, elevating Bitcoin prices further after El Salvador became the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender last week, and Elon Musk outlined plans for Tesla to resume accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. Doesn't it seem kind of odd that, when the good news comes, it just seems like it all comes at once, almost as if it's just being manipulated? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? It just seems kind of weird. President Samia Suluhu Hassan, I got to start getting these names better, man, called on the Tanzanian central bank Sunday to begin working on facilitating widespread use of cryptocurrencies in the East African nation. While many in Tanzania have not yet embraced decentralized finance, Hassan said the central bank should be ready for the changes and not be caught unprepared. Hassan is one of the most senior politicians to signal support for digital assets since El Salvador voted to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender last week and helped give the flagging market a boost. The announcement helped Bitcoin gain nearly 10% in 24 hours, nearly reaching $40,000 a token Monday morning. The token was also boiled on, I know I just messed that up, on by news that Tesla would resume its use of Bitcoin when there is proof the asset is obtained using around 50% clean energy. I gotta start reading some of these words before I start this video, man. It sounds kind of weird, but we knew this was gonna happen though. El Salvador became the first one, and now Tanzania is looking to try to follow in its footsteps, and it's gonna be a lot of the countries that are hurting big time, because if you're looking for the U.S. and a lot of the other stronger economies, if you're looking for those economies to adopt Bitcoin and adopt cryptocurrencies first, it's not really going to happen that way. A lot of these other countries, they're hurting big time. They're hurting from inflation. If the U.S. inflation is 5%, theirs is 25%. Like they're hurting on a whole nother level. So they need this a whole lot more than we need it in the U.S. I mean, because that's where I'm based in anyway. And I mean, yeah, we knew this was gonna happen. Decentralized finance. You know, when you consider that majority of these people in these different countries, especially if you look at certain countries in Africa, you know, like Tanzania for one, you look at that, majority of those people may not even have any access to banking at all, right? And so these are people who need to get banked. These are people who need to go through the decentralization of finance. These are people who need to have access to this stuff. They're going to be the people that propels this space forward. Really is, because one thing we have to keep in mind is that these are global assets. They're not domestic assets. Everybody all over the world is trading this stuff. Everybody all over the world is using this stuff. That's what makes it so powerful. You know what I mean? Going beyond your domestic borders and just going completely global. You know what I mean? So of course, obviously, I think is extremely positive news, and you know, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about right here. These four pieces of news should again further your conviction. This is the reason why you should be involved in cryptocurrencies, or I think it should be called crypto technology because they're not really cryptocurrencies, but whatever. Um, yeah, crypto technology, cryptocurrency, whatever you want to call it. This is why you should be involved in it. I hope that this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. As always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, take a look at the other content, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy. Peace.